Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of Two Off the Tee podcast. We got the number one Chicago Realtor golfer with us again, my co-host and brother, James Shin, and yours truly, the Titleist of Loans, Jeff Shin. So, James, episode 7 here. I mean, it's the last week of the year here. So I figured we'd talk about we'd review 2025, our season, what we want to do for a personal reset for 2026. And then on the back nine, we'll cover some, let's call it bold predictions of who might win some majors. And we touched on this a little bit on the previous podcast, but it's official now where Brooks Koepka is not playing for LIV next season. So we'll start here. Year-end review. How'd you like your 2025 season?
My 2025 season, I think it ended well. I got my handicap down to as low as a 7. One of my friends gifted me a driver. That thing has helped me tremendously, I feel like. My game has changed with a new driver. I'm hitting it straighter, maybe a little bit further, but I'm not taking drops. I'm taking less drops with my driver. So the season, I've grown a lot. I've made some new golf friends. I played the best golf I ever have. I shot a new PR this year. I shot a 74 at Prairie Landing. So I think my golf year was a success. What about you?
For me, I feel like it was a success overall. I was ballooning to a 20 handicap in the beginning of the season. I was like, whoa, this is not me. And I made it a point to get back to 14. And my goal was to get to 10, just to have a PR myself. And then I worked pretty hard, I feel like, in the 2025 season with a lot of practicing, actually, for me. I did the most amount of range sessions this year, and I feel like I was at Des Moines like 3-day clockwork, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I was there and just pounding golf balls and practicing. And I really wanted to get to, I mean, I got as low as 14, and I really wanted to get to 10, but I ended the season back to 17. So starting at 20, down to 14, at 17, I feel like that's a small win.
I think
And
that's
yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty happy with what I saw, and towards the end of the season or mid-season, a lot of different practicing. Like for me, one of the things I see this all the time with people at the range, and I think you do this. You hit a bunch of balls, and think that's good enough, and there's no practice with intent. So for me, I started getting back into it where I got the impact, well, not the impact tape, right? But I got the foot spray, and I was spraying the club to see where I was hitting the ball. And I was realizing, like, man, I'm hitting the toe a lot or a groove low. And it was really helpful information getting that down. And then the one thing I stumbled across, I didn't know it existed, but using a metronome, I decided to pay the guy whatever. It was like 10, $15 for his app, just because I found it. I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll support him. And I got a tour tempo, and that really helped me out with the rhythm of actually hitting the ball. So I was like, oh, okay, now I understand. When we go to these PGA events and you see the tour players hit, and you're like, it doesn't look like they're swinging fast, but they are. But it's in rhythm of the frames per second that it makes it like it's really just fluid.
yeah. Yeah, their form is synchronized. So it looks they're not swinging, but they are swinging pretty fast.
Yo,
That's how you
yeah.
know someone's a good golfer.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. Like when I was using it, and I kept encouraging you to use it, but you're like, no, I don't want to use it. But then secretly, I think you really liked it.
Oh, I did use it in game one time. Yeah, I started shanking it, and I was like, dude, I can't do like I gotta practice it more. I have to practice it more, I guess, before I take it out to play the game. Like I need to do it at the range more. But I didn't do a lot of range sessions this year. I didn't do many. Done a handful. I mean, the range is pretty far away from me, so it's not easily accessible. And then I was
Yeah,
gonna get the net for my backyard, and I don't know what happened to that. I didn't do it. Which I
yeah,
think
you
next
should.
year I'm just gonna pull the trigger and just get the net.
The one that Bryson uses.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you should get it. Your backyard's the perfect size for it.
yeah. I think I'm just gonna do that because then, yeah, like I could just go, in the backyard and just go hit some golf ball. I don't have to like travel.
Yeah.
Pay $20 a bucket.
That's the
Pay $12 for parking. Like, yeah,
that's the beauty of being a homeowner. You could do these things and put that in your backyard. I think it would be great if you put that in your backyard, that net, and hitting it. It would be great practice because you could just go down there, hit like 10, 15 balls every day and just work on a couple things and really tighten your game up.
Yeah, careful if I get that, I'm gonna drop down to, like, a 5 or a 4.
I don't I don't think you will, but hopefully you do.
Our handicaps are so far apart, like, I can't even hear you, you're so far away from me, but okay.
I mean, I got nothing to say about that. I'll take one on the chin there. You are a 10 and I am a 17 right now, so we're a little bit apart, not miles apart, I would say.
It's funny how that goes because yeah, I went down to a 7, and then you were down to a 14, and now you're at a 17, and I'm in a 10.
Yeah.
So it's kinda weird how yeah, like, you just like, this game is waves. You start high in the beginning of the season, and you drop down, and then somewhere towards the end of the season, you just get bad again. Like, I don't understand because I didn't really well, actually, I did miss a beat. There was a moment during the golf season where I didn't play for, like, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to me. For, like, 2 or 3 weeks, I didn't play. I lost the love of the game or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think towards the end of the season, it just as much as I love playing, I think towards the end of the season, it just becomes too much, especially when it gets colder and you're dragging yourself out there to play a little bit in the colder weather. So I think that has a
No,
lot to do with it.
this was peak golf season when I didn't play. This was, like, the summer.
Well, that's probably because I was just whooping your ass throughout the summer.
Okay.
A little depression hit. I mean, I took a look at the stats here, and I mean, yeah, you were getting your ass whooped peak season. So I
Yeah, with the handicap system, like, it's okay, here's what happened, and this is what drove me to stop playing for a while. When MGGA first started, and for those who don't know, MGGA is our golf league. When it first started and we are, like, all kind of fresh blood playing golf, like, we are all bad. We are all equally bad, I would say.
yeah,
And there was no handicap system, and that was the grind of golf, was like, oh, well, it was your friends who became my friends though, because none of my friends played golf, where it's like, we're all bad, we're all starting fresh, let's grind and get better. And then all of a sudden, we started implementing handicaps because people were pulling away from each other, and then it's like, okay, and then now we're playing with the handicaps now, and I got people like you talking trash, like, the handicap is the equalizer.
yeah,
It's designed for us to break even. So you can't really talk shit like, "Oh, I beat you." I still beat you by like 20 strokes. I don't understand what you're saying. So I think after a while during that 2 or 3 week break that I took, like, I don't know, like, golf wasn't fun for me anymore. Like, it wasn't competitive enough for me. And then I got this guy in my ear. I'm gonna give his internet alias, Kawboy. Like, I don't know where this dude came from, but all of a sudden he's like, "I'm gonna whoop your ass." I'm play you straight up. And like 2 years ago when we started playing, I was like, this dude wasn't even on my radar. And then this year or last year, he started like chirping in my ear. And I was like, okay. And then when you play one on one, I'd be like, dude, I'm up 3 games. And then he brought it to even. And then I was like, "Oh shit, like, I can't let this guy beat me." And then some competitive juices in my brain, like, something went weird in my brain where I was like, "I have to get better again. Like, I need to grind." And I feel like with the handicap system, I don't feel the need to grind. It's like, what's the point? If I grind harder, all I do is I give you another stroke or 2 to make the game more even for you. Like, I feel like it's the cheap way out. I don't know. That's how I think of it.
yeah. So funny that you bring that
So
up of
shout out to Cowboy. He lit the fire.
yeah. So funny you bring up the handicaps. I was watching a video of I mean, I know you don't really watch sports here, but there's a basketball player on the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, and he was playing ping pong against an Olympian. And she's like, "I'm gonna beat you, and I'm gonna give you up." They played up to 11, and she gave him 10. So basically, on the serve, he smashed it and won. He got the 1 point to win, and he's running around going crazy that he beat an Olympian. So I think when you have it like that, and the rules are established where the handicap is what it is, while it might be a crutch, it levels a playing field, and I think it's perfectly fine to talk shit when you win. Only you and
I think that's the
Cowboy.
coward's way out.
Not really, because I mean, I have no again, I there's people that have higher handicap than me, and I have no problem giving them strokes.
Are they talking shit to you? Are they
Uh,
saying that they beat you majority of the year?
well, they don't
Because you
win, so
haven't.
hold on, they don't win, so they can't talk shit, and the only person that does is there's this one individual
Mhm.
that has a couple strokes, and he'll rub it in my face that he beat me because of the handicap, which I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." I mean, it's the handicap, it's established, you're getting 4 strokes, 5 strokes, let's play, and, it is what it is. I don't get upset at the fact that someone has more strokes when it's established of the handicap, but I think
I'm not saying it's like I'm upset that I gotta give you strokes.
so, James, then to wrap up here for the end of the year review of 2025, your golf season, do you think amateurs over practice or underplay real golf?
That's a curveball. I think amateurs under practice for sure. I don't think amateurs practice enough, and then they go out there and then they think that they're much better than they are, and then like that's where rage happens.
Yeah, because they,
And that's literally where the rage happens from is people think they're much better than they actually are.
uh, yeah, that's very true. And I've noticed too on the internet lately, like it seems like it's cool to throw your clubs again. These videos out there.
I don't know what Mo on the Internet Invitational.
Yeah, but
Have more people been doing that?
yeah, I've seen other people. Actually, Rick Shields in his video, I think he was playing Peter Finch. They're doing like a one-on-one series. Yeah, it was like hole 17 or 18, it seemed pretty important, and he sliced it or something, and he decided to chuck his club.
I saw a clip of him throwing a club into the trees or
Yeah, yeah.
something. Is that the same video? Yeah, I saw someone clip that on like Instagram or something, and I was like, "Oh." I thought that was old, but
No,
I guess
that's
not. I mean, it is a good rage reliever. I mean, I'm not trying to break my clubs,
yeah,
so I'm not throwing stuff out there like that.
I can't throw my clubs. I can't. But I feel like, for amateurs, I think they definitely should practice more than play because you're just not gonna get the feel. There's so many things that happen in a round that these situations just they don't happen. So I feel like for amateurs that want to get better, yeah, just practice more and play less. I think that's the only way to get better.
I don't know. Well, I think you gotta play to actually get better though too. Like I probably played more than I practiced, and I mean you're gonna miss greens, so like you gotta chip, get close, try to save par, scrambling. I think a lot of people they don't expect to scramble some games or some holes. You know, like there's sometimes like a whole round where I'm just scrambling the whole game, and yeah, it's super frustrating and I mean, that makes it's like tilt-worthy golf, like, you just every hole I'm scrambling, I'm under a tree, I gotta punch out, hit it close with the wedge and try to one putt or something, like, I feel like sometimes that's the whole game for 4 hours, and it just drives me crazy. You can't really practice that, like, you gotta play, and I think playing with friends and being competitive is also, like, a good way to get better too. I know a lot of people in the comments like honors is dumb and I don't know if those people are playing for anything. Like they just going with their buddies and playing for fun. Like
I think
I don't know. I don't like playing for fun.
I feel like for the most part, weekend golfers, they're just playing for fun to get out of the house. So there's nothing on the line. Whereas our group that we play with, it's always competitive. We're always betting for something. We're always, you know, something's on the line. Plus, I mean, we have the league and then we're playing twice a month. So it gets pretty competitive for us.
Yeah. I mean, even it doesn't even have to be for money. It just has to be for something, like with Cowboy, it's an ongoing record, like he does like my money to him is nothing anyway. So I don't think he just cares about the glory. And I think what's eating him alive is the glory. Like he can't say he beat me like
Well,
over the whole year.
that's
Like
because
he's
you big
down now. So
that's because you big bro him and go, okay, you could drop even though it went out of bounds. I remember that. We were playing at where we play at COG. We played at COG where he tried to
Cog?
where did we play? I think it was COG
I didn't
Hill.
play a Cog. I haven't
We
played
didn't
Cog this year.
I mean, there's 4 courses there. I'm not saying we played dubs, but it
Oakbrook?
oh, yeah, yeah, no, sorry, it was Oakbrook. Yeah, where he tried to shortcut it. Yeah, he tried shortcutting that, it went out of
Mhm.
bounds and you big broed him. He's like, "Yeah, you could just drop here, penalty free." I remember, and then I think he won
Oh,
because of that.
yeah, yeah. The par 5 or something. He went in the water like 4 times.
Yeah,
And yeah, he's like got a double or something. I don't know.
yeah, I think he has a vanity
I
handy.
think that's the problem with I think that's the thing that like we had to find out actually is like the people in the comments who are saying how we play is stupid is like, are they actually playing for something? Or are they just going out there and, like, playing golf?
I
Like,
have
just
a
playing with
feeling
their buddies? I mean, that's I don't know.
I have a feeling they're just playing for fun. That's my guess. Because at least with us, I mean, we or maybe it's just us that are enforcing these things. So I don't know. But yeah, let's move on here. Obviously, this is the last week of 2025, and we got the whole new year of 2026. Any goals that you have in mind here?
I mean, the only goal I really have is to drop my handicap probably down to, like, a 5. I mean, but I feel like that's, like, gonna take me a long that's, like, miles away is from me getting to, like, a 7 to a 5 or a 4. I mean, I would love that, but, man, golf is so hard, and just me trying to shave 3 strokes off a hole, or, like, a game, like, that's huge for me. Like, I think, like, for a higher handicap, like, it's so much easier for them to shave off 3 strokes, but, yeah, I don't know, like, when I go into a game, I'm like, I cannot get any doubles. But, like, if I just hit one out of bounds, and I gotta re-tee, like, that's just yeah, that's just that's a double, and I miss a green, maybe that's a triple or something, or take a drop here. Like, I gotta eliminate doubles from my game, and I think that's the biggest thing I'm trying to do.
What I was asking you is like, do you not look at Grint to see the stats of areas to improve?
No, I don't look at Grint stats for, no, I don't. I mean, I know where my double bogeys are coming from. It's 3 putting and when I have to, like, take a drop or something. I mean, when we
Well,
played Bolingbrook, I had 3 or 4 straight double bogeys. Like, that was, yeah, the first 3 or 4 holes, I think I started +8 or something. It was bad for me.
yeah. Well, I think if you take a look at Grint, it'll tell you areas to work on. And then from there, you just make it a focus. I mean, that's basically what I did in the beginning of the season. Once we signed up for Grint, I was looking at it. I was like, okay, it's saying to focus on the par fives and par threes because you're not getting any GIRs. So I made it a mission for myself, specifically on par fives and par threes, to get on GIRs because those were just scoring opportunities. So for me, it was very helpful to focus on that and looking at Grint and telling me what to work on. And that's why I started inputting like the distance for putting, like 30, 40, whatever, 10, just to get a gauge on distance control lag putting as well to see how many times I'm actually two putting versus three putting and using that data. So I think for 2026, if you're looking for improvements, I would definitely look at Grint and use the stats there to hone in and find an area to get from 7 to 5.
Yeah, I'll check that out. What are your, what's your goals for 2026 in golf?
I feel like I'm due for another hole in one, and I feel like I'm long overdue for one, but I feel like I'm also long overdue for breaking 80.
Have you broken 80?
No, I've gotten close. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple holes, and it was really like, I don't know. In hindsight, it was stupid of me because I was like so close, but it was like, it's 82. What do I care? I'm not gonna break 80 now. So it's like, I didn't care, and I let it get to 85 because, what's one, two strokes really at that point on 18. So I think for me, I really want to break 80. I know I can, but it's just I lose focus, and I'm not really playing. I'm usually when I'm beating everyone out there, it's just what's the point of going lower? For me, I think that's gonna be a goal to break 80. Long overdue for a hole in one. And my biggest goal I'm gonna work on is just distance. I just feel like I'm losing strokes because of the driver. So I need to crank that thing to like 250, 280.
250 at least.
At
I mean, I
least. Yeah.
think you're, like, at 200, 210
Don't
or something like that.
don't be rude.
Yeah.
210. Don't be rude. Don't be rude.
Where is your driver at?
I think it's like 220, 230.
Okay. Well, we'll let the internet believe that.
Yeah, please. Don't no need to embarrass me. We're already posting my rounds out there.
That means that I'm hitting the driver 290 then.
No, not
I'm not hitting my
necessarily.
driver 290
That's not true. Why? Why does it have to be 290 if I'm hitting it 220, 230?
because I'm out driving you by like 60, 70 yards.
What, on one hole? Come on.
I think there's multiple holes, but yeah.
Well, on record, we only have one, and on record, you don't give me's, and in the last couple uploads on those clips, you hear me say, "That's good, that's good, that's good." So if anything, I think people mistake me for you with these gimmies and stuff like that. But it's cool. I'll be the bad guy.
I've given you some putts in those at Bolingbrook, but also I'm a better putter than you. My putts are like a foot away, less than a foot away,
Okay.
and I still tap those in. I still tap them in. So
Yeah, but if you miss it, you're still giving yourself whatever the actual gimme is. But it's fine. So 2026, I'm looking to break 80. You want to get to a 5 handicap?
yeah, 5 or 4, I think, is my goal.
Anything that you'll completely stop doing?
Things I would stop doing?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like for me, my 3 wood gets me in trouble all the time,
Oh.
and I just feel like I got to take it out of the bag.
No, I don't think I'm gonna be doing something like that. Because I need it for certain holes. I wouldn't say there's anything I would stop doing. I mean, no, without sounding mean, no, there's nothing I would stop doing.
Yeah. So, and I think the last thing for me for the 2026 season, I think I should make a return back to the finals in our golf league. It's been a while, and running this thing for going into our 10th year, I feel like as a founder, I should have win one of these.
Is next year the 10th year?
Yeah. We started in 2016.
Wow, wow, it's come a long way.
Yeah, we've come a long way from 2, 4 people to 6 to 20 plus now. So yeah, we've steadily grown. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've made everyone a better golfer too. Look at that.
I think so. And
I don't think anyone has gotten worse.
no, they didn't get worse. And I think they now understand what the rules of golf are. They follow the rules.
That should be a good topic to discuss. Like if people are playing by the rules too, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think well, 2026 season for the league. I mean, there's definitely some comments that I saw that we should address and making some changes to see if it'll help the league or not. So, get ready to put on your commissioner hat and we can go over these rules that people have addressed and see if it would make sense. So, I think
I didn't know people were saying stuff.
there's some stuff out there. A couple people have said some stuff in the chat. So I have it saved. Not that I'm taking like receipt, but it's just, you listen to people and filter through it and see what's a good idea, what's a bad idea, who it's benefiting and who's not benefiting. So we'll have to address that in the next coming episodes for the league for the 10th year. And I mean,
No,
anything
that's
else?
exciting. Change is good.
Yeah. So anything else that you want to focus on for 2026?
No, beating Cowboy again for the year would be another plus for me. Whooping your ass, would been I mean, always do, but this handicap thing, like, yeah, you need an equalizer. Yeah, like, again, going back, it was so fun when there was no handicap. Everyone grinded, like, that's when I really grinded to get better. Like, I feel like
Hey,
I never grinded so hard at before, like, because 'cause we're all the same, and I don't even know if we knew what the handicap system was back then. We're just like, "Dude, I gotta get better than you." And that was the grind. Like, remember, like, Marcin? Like, dude, that dude, like, we played 36. He'd be at the range before 18, then we played another 18, and then he'd be at the range after 36 holes. Like, that was the grind. That was, like, what made it so awesome. And then all of us just joking, like, "Look at this guy, like, he's at the range every day. Like, he's got blisters on his hands." Like, that type of shit, like, made golf, like, I don't know, like, so fun and, like, being competitive and, like, trying to get better than your opponent or your friends, like now it's like, I got better, but you didn't. So let me give you another 2 strokes to make it even. Like, I don't know. It's like if I keep grinding and you don't grind, then what's the point? I just keep giving you strokes to make you feel better, to make it even. It just, I don't know.
mm.
That was just so fun, man, back then doing it like that.
Yeah,
And
I mean, we had a lot more time on our
just having
hands
this
too
other
to
guy in my
doing
ear
that stuff.
chirping that he's better than me. Yeah, so
Yeah,
what? I mean, so what? Like some people, some people take more time doing who knows what. But this is like our
I
hobby
mean,
that this is like the only hobby that I have.
I
And
agree with you. That's why I went to the range
if
like
if
every
other
day.
people don't have the same passion, I get it. I mean, I think it would be so fun if somehow like you got closer to me and then we're like, yeah, I'm not giving you any strokes. Let's just play, like stuff like that. Like it just
I,
made it seem
I
more
will beat.
fun for me. I don't know.
I have no problem beating you straight up and playing you straight up. Like we just don't because we have the handicap and that's what we use. So It's just established. If it's such an issue, I have no problem playing you straight up. We could do a 7-game series. 5, 3, you pick. You want to do match play? What do you want to do? What's the format?
Well, I don't know. I never we always play stroke
Yeah, see?
play, so it's interesting.
Yeah, see? All
We
that
like
shit
rarely
talking.
play match play.
I'm giving you the terms to set up. So you want to do a 3-game series, 5, 7, you pick. You pick. We'll play 7 we'll do a little series, 1v1. We'll do straight up. I will whoop your ass. That's a promise.
I will sweep you. I will sweep you.
Okay. So we'll do a 7-game
You will
series.
be swept.
We'll do a
Swept.
7-game series. We'll do a 7-game series. You pick 3 courses, I'll pick 3 courses. And then the
Sure.
seventh one we'll have to agree on one if there's a tiebreaker. I don't think we get there.
Dude, it's not even a
I
get there.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna win
What are
4-2.
you talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna win 4-2.
You know, I love the confidence. I love the confidence, but dude, like our games are miles apart. This is
Or not it's not really.
sure. We'll do a
Not really.
series. We'll do a
Okay.
series.
We'll do a
And
series.
I will humiliate you in front of the internet. And then
Yeah,
your tap it
okay.
in daddy can play you.
Yeah, we'll yeah. Alright, so I think that covers the 2026 season for the goals. So
Okay.
you're looking to get to a 5 handicap. I wanna break 80. Any other goals you wanna add to the list?
I would like to get an eagle. I haven't got an eagle in a long time. Actually, no, I got one last year, but I need more eagles. I need to get some more eagles.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get at least 2 next year, I
I'm
think.
surprised you don't go for it on the par 5s. That's a little disappointing that you don't go for it on the par 5s.
I mean, they're hard, dude. Like
Well, yeah,
I don't
that's the
have the
only way to
distance
get the
with the
eagles.
3-wood.
Hmm. Alright, so
That's why it's staying in
let
my bag.
Alright, so let's move on. I think the fun thing in this going into 2026 season here, we got the PGA that's gonna be starting up again here soon. So I was thinking, let's make some bold predictions here for, major winners for 2026. The Masters, PGA, US Open, and the Open, and the FedEx Cup Championship.
I think I'm gonna have to let you take more of the lead on this one. Cause I mean, who am I gonna say? Is that even his name? Howdy? It's so bad. I don't even know his name. I mean, he's still the number one. He's the number one golfer by like a mile in front of everybody. I feel like I do like the guy who's he finally just won. Who is that guy?
Tommy?
He's like always been a runner up, but he never won.
Yeah, Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
I would
so
like. I think I would like him to win. I'm not sure if these are predictions. I just like certain people.
yeah. I mean that's
Zalatoris,
the
I would love for him to win. Little Happy Gilmore's caddy.
So then I guess the better question I should really be asking, since you don't really follow the sport, which is interesting, you play it, but you don't follow it as well. Pretty rare. So I think for bold predictions, Masters, I'm going to go with Justin Rose. PGA Championship, I'm going to go with Brooks. And the US Open, I think Scotty wins this one. So it's important for the US Open for Scotty to win because this completes a Grand Slam. The Open, I'm going to go with Rory. And the FedEx Cup, I think Scotty wins it. So do you think
Wait a second. You just said Brooks. I thought Brooks
he
is going to be suspended.
no, he could play because he's won the PGA Championship. He gets an exemption, so he can play these tournaments. That major.
I got it. All right. Okay. So he could still play in that, but he can't play in the other events. Is that what it is?
Yeah, for the PGA, all the events that he can't play, but certain majors he can play. Like I know he's won the PGA Championship, and I believe he's won the US Open, so he's exempt and he can play those tournaments every year. But I think the PGA Championship, the exemptions is only for 5 years.
Oh.
So because it's only for 5 years, he can play. Well, yeah, he needs to win it in order to play again in the PGA Championship. Otherwise, that exemption goes away. You just don't follow sports. So this is, I feel like a little bit of tougher topic in making some predictions of who will win. So my question to you is, does watching pro golfers actually help amateurs?
I think to a certain extent it does. Feel like I've always been a self-learner, like swimming. Like I think I learned how to swim watching Baywatch. I rode a bike, like probably from watching you and like other people. Like when dad just took off my training wheels, I just like kind of went, like kind of thing.
Hmm.
I think watching pro golfers, I think you can learn certain things, but I think it's hard to learn watching pros on TV and especially like the PGA. Because one, they're only really showing highlights, and two, like, okay, it's like, all right, hit fairway, hit green, you know? putt, birdie, par. Like, I feel like you're not I feel like in golf, like, I'm not learning that much watching them. Like, if you were playing basketball, like, you could see the moves that players are doing, and maybe you could convert that into actual gameplay if you're, like, playing pickup games or something in basketball, but as far as golf, like, you see the swing, maybe you see how, like, their elbows or their wrists get bowed, and, like, maybe in that sense, it might turn some screws in your brain to play golf better, but as far as, like, learning or, like, getting better at golf, I mean, I think no. I mean, I didn't watch golf at all, really, and I'm a single digit handicap, so, no, I don't think you need to watch golf. I think I think you need to play more to get, like, and you have to have a lot of things in your bag, like chipping, short game. Like, I think it helps maybe watching their short game, but then you get, like, too many people, and I'm not gonna say any names, but there's some certain people who try to hit that chip shot where one hop stops. There's
Certain
certain people who try to
names.
do that too often.
Hmm.
I'm talking about you.
No, no names. I'm not pointing. Remember how people used to? I'm not
No
pointing any
names.
elbows.
But yeah, like, I mean, that it looks so cool, like, on TV, but I think to actually do that in a real game, like, I don't even know how to do that. Like, I have no idea, and some people are like, "Oh, your ball stopped," and they're like, "How'd you do that?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know." Like, I opened the club face and I hit it, clipped it. I don't know if maybe playing ping pong when we were kids, and, like, top spinning it or, like,
Yeah.
spinning the ball, like, I think maybe that helped with trying to create spin on the wedges, but, I mean, I don't think I'm getting any backspin, so I don't know how they're doing that. I mean, they must be really coming steep at it and chopping at it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like, a lot of that is just and especially if we don't have the launch monitors and, like, the sims and, like, to see all that, like, I'm not gonna see that 80 yards, 60 yards down the fairway. Like, I'm not gonna know.
If you're not watching the events, aren't you watching clips on Instagram or TikTok, like these reels of the pros of what they're doing? Don't you analyze their swing there?
The only not the men, the LPGA, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Mm.
easier to follow.
Yeah, the men, like, their swing is not, something I'm trying to I mean, even if I'm trying to mimic someone's swing, like, I can't. Like, the golf swing is just so everyone's swing is unique. Like, Jim Furyk's swing is crazy. Like, DJ and Morikawa got the bowed wrist. Like, it's weird because everyone's got such a different swing, and it works for everybody, like, something works for everybody, so I think I did see a clip of some LPGA golfer who's a pro, and I think I forgot where she grew up, in China or, like, Korea or something, where
Uh-huh.
they're like the coaches there were all about having the pretty swing, like, having that textbook swing, but she has a very pretty swing, but she's missing, like, distance and, like, a lot of other things, and she can't get that now because her mechanics are all just this textbook swing. So it's like, yeah, it might look great, but yeah, she definitely says she's missing a couple things. So yeah, I mean, like, I mean, I've learned a lot is actually just people are gonna hate this again. I learned it from YouTube, like hitting a flop shot. I can't even believe I'm gonna share the secret of mine, but I'm going
Okay.
to. I forgot who on YouTube said this, but they said, like, when I try to hit a flop shot off the fairway, or I not even a flat shot, but just like a high ball, and like like the pin's up close and tight, and I gotta like or something. I'm short sighted. There's a bunker, and I gotta whatever. I need to hit a high ball. I need it to stop. Like, they said to use the bounce, and they said to open up the club face and, like, lay it on flat on the ground in the fairway. And they said if you practice swing and you don't take a divot, like, if no grass comes up, like, you're doing it right. So, like, a lot of times
Hmm.
before I try to do a flop shot in the fairway, I'll open up my club face and I'll pretend like I'm hitting the ball, and I know I'm doing it right if no grass or turf or anything comes up. Then I know I'm gonna clip the ball correctly, and it's gonna have a lot of spin. It's gonna go straight up in the air and pretty much come down and not roll out a lot. I learned that from YouTube. I don't know who said that on YouTube. It was someone from Good Good, I think. It might have been Garrett, but he was like, "Yeah, you open a club face and you use the bounce, and if you don't take up any turf, like, yeah, that's how you do it." And then I was like, "Huh?" And I went out and took it out in the field, one day, and yeah, it worked. And ever since then, like, I might skull like one or two like every so often, but a lot of times it works It works out for me a lot, especially when I'm trying to get that ball to stop.
Yeah.
And that's how I do it, and yeah, I learned from YouTube and playing a lot. So I just think a lot of you gotta just play a lot to learn different scenarios and how the ball is gonna roll out and short game. I mean, I think a lot of people are missing practicing short game. Like you gotta practice that because you're gonna miss. And I think Mike Short, he's always like, "How is your short game so good?" or whatever. Or like, people are like, "What your short game is so good. What do you do?" And I was like, "Miss a bunch of greens, like you'll figure it out." Like, I guess. Like if you're expecting to just hit every green, like it's just. And I think there's someone on Instagram who shows the stats of like pros, like the proximity from 100 yards, 150 yards, and like, and it goes to handicaps. Like even a 10 handicap, we're missing greens even from 100 yards. Like we're gonna hit the green maybe what 7 out of 10 times from 100 yards, or maybe even less than that. I don't even know. But it's amazing
No,
to me
that's
how like higher handicaps will get upset and be like, "I missed the green," and I'm like, "Dude, you know how hard it is?"
they don't respect the game enough.
I know.
I practice those religiously when I go to the range. I practice those 100-yard shots. It's a totally different feel at
I
the
mean, so
range.
do I.
So,
So do I.
yeah, there's and it's like, yeah, so I think going at the range and then doing it in real life out there, totally different. It's definitely a different feel. It's upsetting. I mean, I get upset when I don't hit those shots for the amount of practice I do, specifically on the 100-yard shots, but the guys that barely practice and show up and get mad, it's just like, yeah, whatever. What are you getting so
Yeah.
upset for? You could barely
But
hit
I
the
mean,
ball
yeah, like,
anyways.
but I mean, you're gonna miss greens. Like, I think that's the thing that people don't understand about this game is like, I think Brooks said this. It's a game about misses. Like, you miss every single time. Like, oh, you didn't hit your approach shot in the hole. You missed. So you didn't putt in from 50 feet. You missed. This whole game is about missing and missing closer and closer. And you miss a green. I mean, you just have to be okay with it. Like, yeah, I mean, you could chip in for birdie, you could chip very close and get a tap in par. Like, I mean, that's the beauty of this game is like it's just you're always missing, and it's self-rewarding to get better and hit these amazing shots that want to bring you back. And that's, I mean, I don't know. I remember when we went on this golf trip, um, and we were playing and we got set up in tiers, and I think I was like a 10 or 11 then, and they paired me up against the other 10 and a handicap player, and we were, like, miles apart, and, like, my short game was just killing it, and then dude, it deflated the team. They're like, "What's up with this guy's short game?" Like, I don't know what it was that day. I was chipping everything close, and everything was like a one-putt tap in, but, yeah, the short game is just it saves me so many times. I can't recall how many times my short game saves me, and I think that's one thing
No,
everyone needs to work on is.
I I know. I know that feeling. I know what they mean. For whatever reason, your short game is pretty solid. I've said it, I'll admit it. I have no problem admitting an area that you're pretty good at is the short game. You have this touch from the fringe. Every time it lands in that fringe area, first cut, it gets that good bounce and rolls to the cup. Like you just have this knack for landing it right there. And it always rolls out to the pin.
I think some of it's luck, but,
So
it is a saying, "It's
I
better
think
to be lucky than to be good."
yeah. So you brought up Brooks, and I think that's a good topic to end on here. We talked about it in the previous podcast that there was rumors of him possibly not playing in the 2026 season for Live, and it has been confirmed that he is not playing anymore. So I've seen some stuff on the internet, James. I don't know if you got a chance to read any of it, but I was thinking, circling back to it. I mean, should he be allowed back on the tour? There's been some, I know on the tour they made some rules basically saying, hey, if you join Live, you're suspended for a year.
I think they need to implement. I think they need to keep that rule standing. Let me backtrack for it. Did he get kicked out of Live, or he just didn't resign with Live? Because I don't know,
Let's
or
say
no
they
one knows.
mutually parted ways. They mutually parted ways. Brooks basically said he wants to spend more time with his
So he
family.
got okay. So he took the big check, got paid for a little while. Now he wants to spend time with his family. I understand that. But I think if he wants to play, I mean, and I guess nobody knows if he really wants to join the PGA again now. But the PGA has to suspend him for a year because there was this big whole thing with another league trying to destroy the PGA. And if I was the PGA, I'd be like, dude, like, yeah, you got paid over there, but you don't get to just come back to daddy's house now and play with me. You don't get that. Like, you need to. You know, earn my love back. You need to earn my respect back. You don't no. Yeah, he needs to sit out for you. And if he wants to just hang out with his family more, then he's got the time. But no, this is the big leagues. The PGA is the big leagues. Like you were
So
coasting with a nice salary over there.
So the prodigal son tries to return, and James says, "No, you got to pay your dues." I mean, I agree, but let's flip it.
Yeah.
I did see this in the comments somewhere on the internet, and someone was basically saying, "So what happens if Brooks decided to resign from the PGA and make shoes, and now he wants to come back? Is that okay?"
I don't know what was in the rule book for that. I mean, the rules for the PGA wasn't it if you go to live, you're suspended for a year if you want to come back? They didn't make a
Well,
stipulation if
I'm not
you become an entrepreneur.
I'm not in I'm not entirely sure of the rules specifically because I don't think it's ever been done where someone tried to do a let's call it a takeover. So I think for the commissioner Jay Monahan, I think he had to stop the bleeding and say, "Hey, if anyone else resigns from the PGA, these are the consequences. And if you want to go to live based on these consequences, cool, go ahead, resign." So I don't know if there's actually a rule in place that said, okay, if this ever happens, that this would, we have specific rules in place already for it. But I guess what I'm asking you is Brooks decided to quit from the PGA to make shoes, and he's like, "Ah, forget it, I want to come back." Does he come back, or is same thing? What path do you put him on?
Well, who's to say he's still good at golf to compete with the top players in the world a year later if he took a whole year off? And two,
Um,
it's not fair to all the other PGA players who stayed with the PGA. Like, if there was no consequences, like if they didn't set a consequence, everyone would have just went to live and just got paid and then came back. Like, that was the reason why a lot of people stuck with the PGA because I think there was a lot of uncertainty with Live, and there probably still is uncertainty with Live, where you don't know how long Live is going to last. You don't know if this is even going to be an actual thing. I mean, it's been a thing now for like 4 years or something. But like, if Brooks is leaving and then Bryson leaves, and like Live is going to start getting dismantled, and then these guys who need to make money or who want to still make money because they're rich now and they need to come back. Like, yeah, I mean, the whole PGA could have just left and went to live. So, yeah. And then to your point, if someone wants to become an entrepreneur, totally, hey, hats off to you. But you need to prove that you can still compete with the top players in the world. I mean, that's what the PGA is. And I know, like, as far as from a sports standpoint, and for someone who doesn't watch sports like me, I think golf is the only sport where you have to perform to get paid. Correct me if I'm wrong, but all the other sports, you get a salary, you know,
yeah, I mean, for the most part, for sports, yeah, everyone
right?
has like contracts, guaranteed money, things like that. On the PGA, I don't think there's, to my
Right.
knowledge, I don't think there's a salary. So they get sponsorship and it's all on them.
Yeah, but that's if you get a sponsorship. So, yeah, I mean, like, you can't hate on them for going to live to get in that contract. You know, that's guaranteed money. Whereas, like, in
Yeah.
golf, like, yeah, you got to pay your way to train, flights, food, entering the tournament, your caddy, and then if you don't make the cut, like, you don't get paid. So, yeah, you can't blame them from going to live, but wanting to come back to the PGA, like coming back to daddy, like, yeah, there's consequences, man. Like, you
Yeah, I mean, I
'cause
agree.
then,
I mean, I was just thinking of it just because.
if there is no consequence now for Brooks to come back, then who's to say because okay, so let's just say Brooks leaves Live and now he just rejoins the PGA immediately. Now Liv is gonna start trying to recruit someone from the PGA to replace Brooks. And if the PGA player now knows that there's no consequences to take the money and then come back, well, why not?
Yeah, I think it's a yeah, I think you bring up a great point. It's a little slippery there of what happens, and I think I mean I do agree with Jay Monahan, and it's funny enough actually just with Monahan. So if you're not aware, this 2026 is his last season as commissioner, which happens to end towards the end of the year, which is like August. And I know a lot of the players that left had an issue with Jay Monahan that went to live. And funny enough, Brooks, in theory, if he wants to get back on the PGA, his suspension would end in August when Monahan's time is up. So there's already a commissioner in place that's coming from the NFL that's going to be taking over. So I think the timing of it is interesting. I think some players have re-signed on live, like Dustin Johnson has re-signed, but I don't think anyone follows Dustin Johnson anymore. And I don't know if he cares or doesn't care. It's hard to say. if he does care about his legacy. Meaning, I don't know, you got $200 million. What do you care about your legacy for the most part, right? I think it's a little interesting towards the end of the whole 2026 season, with Monahan officially out and the new commissioner coming in. I can't imagine that the new commissioner will undermine the current decision in saying it, but maybe they allow everyone back in going into 2027, because then Live, for all we know, might not be around, because I think they're all signing 1-year contracts right now. And Bryson right now is having a contract dispute, saying, I'm worth way more than what you're trying to pay me right now." So I think his brand or his
Right?
team pulled in like 20 million, and then his YouTube channel is doing great. So Bryson feels like he's worth a lot more. So there's a contract dispute there. So who knows what happens in the 2026 season for him.
Bryson's doing a
I
lot
know
for the game of
Sergio
golf.
re-signed. No, for sure he is. I think he's doing a lot for the game of golf. He's growing it in his own way. But yeah, for Brooks, yeah, I'm in agreement. I've read the comments. I scoured the internet just to see, get everyone's opinion on it. I I I know for the fan in people, they would love to see him come back and play. But I think that sets it ruins the standard of what the PGA is. Like you're saying, you want to come back to daddy? No, you gotta pay your dues. You got to do something. You can't just leave and come back. I mean, I think Brooks still plays at an elite level, but yeah, I agree that you can't put him back on the tour. It's the suspension's not really that long. It's going to be 8 months for the most part if he hasn't played for the last 4 months already. So what's another 8 months for him to sit out the 2026 season? Now, that's the part that I think gets really tricky for Brooks and the commissioner. I don't know if you just allow him back on the PGA, because you have all these guys that go through a Q School, Corn Ferry. They have to win tournaments, the DP Tour, all these different ways to get into the PGA. And so, my limited research that I did, the PGA has board members that are players, like a Tiger, that makes these decisions. Tiger, Cantley, and I forget a couple other names, but Tiger's the main one. He's like a permanent director on the PGA that will decide, you know, can these guys come back, or will make decisions. And I feel like Tiger's going to be not a hard ass, but I feel like Tiger's gonna be like, "Yeah, dude, like, you're gonna have to go through Q School or Corn Ferry or DP, win a couple tournaments, get some world rankings before you can get back on the PGA." Because I think for Brooks, he can do the DP tour right now to get world ranking points again. I think he could do that right now at least. So I think it's a starting point. It's only 1 year. It's not terrible.
I agree. I think maybe going back to the Q school or whatever you call it, I think it's a good way. And another way I thought about it is like it's like the handicap. I'm always going back to this handicap thing. I feel like Live made them soft and like made them not grind, right? Like
Why?
you
I
go
mean,
sign up with Live,
Bryson,
you have this nice.
that's not
I mean,
true,
there's
because
still
on the
certain
on
people
the
who want to
majors.
be good.
No, but I'm saying on the majors, I forget which majors, but a handful of them actually, a lot more of the live players were on the top 5, top 10 than the PGA players. So they're holding their own in those tournaments on
Yeah,
the
but I
majors.
don't think they're grinding like I don't think they're grinding like how they used to grind though, is my point. Like when we're
Mm,
all
I think they
starting,
are.
we all grinded to get better. They took a cush salary. I mean, they took a cush sal what's the point of grinding that hard anymore, you know? They didn't grind as hard as they're in the PGA. I bet you they took a little backseat, coast ride for a little while. I mean, yeah, they're still talented. They're not gonna become shitty golfers. They're still highly talented golfers who've been playing this game their whole life. Yeah, they can still probably perform well on the top stages. I mean, Bryson plays golf every day still. I mean, he's got his own YouTube channel. He's doing all this other he's doing all these things, you know? But you don't see like
Yeah.
all these other players doing all that stuff. I mean, I don't even know what DJ's doing anymore. So like, right? You said DJ. I don't even that was that guy is he even doing any majors in the PGA? I don't even think so.
Well, he can play. I know he can play in them, but again, I don't think he's just not the same Dustin Johnson that we know of from 4 years ago. He's just not the same.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like he's coasting now. I'm not saying they're all doing
Hey,
that.
man,
I
I
mean,
mean,
Like Bryson is like a one off. Like he's grinding, but like everybody else, they just chilling. They got that $250 million contract. They're just chilling now. There's no need to go
Well,
above and
some of them
beyond.
did, but yeah. Hey, man, I mean, yeah, you're paying me $100 million to leave the PGA Tour, but why not, right? And I'm sure some players, again, maybe some players on the tour would have liked
Yeah,
to join Live, but was worried about the consequences because I think there's like a package they have for their retirement or whatever they have, pension or something. So I think there's a little bit more into it. I'm not entirely sure of the whole inner workings of the PGA League, but I do know that board members would make a decision of what's going on. So it's not going to be necessarily uh, the new commissioner's decision on whether these guys can join. I think the board members, like a Tiger, will ultimately have a say. And I have a feeling that Tiger's going to be like, nah. And I think he's friends with Brooks too, anyways. But I think he's going to be like, no, like you can't. I think for the optics of the PGA, you just can't leave and then come back and be on tour again, and like nothing ever happened. Because I mean, yeah, I feel
I
like
agree.
even for our golf league, right? I think on a smaller scale for our golf league, if someone created a competitor league and started trying to poach our players, and then they want to come back to ours, I'd be like, dude, what the hell? Obviously, I'd probably take them back. That's a little bit different, but I think I would. Yeah, I mean, I
You might.
mean, yeah, we don't have enough players that I can be picky, but I'd be like, what the hell? If we were big enough, I'd be like, nah, you got to sit out a year, like, or maybe don't. You can't. You chased and played a new group. You can't cheat on us and then come back. All right. So, James, I think we've covered a lot here for the 2025 season and exciting stuff to work on for next year for our own personal goals and for the golf league. So, I think that's a wrap. So, see you.